In today's video, I want to show you how you can put your own photos on your Janome M17. Hi, I'm Kim Jamison Hurst of Chatterbox Quilts, and there's an app that you can use called the Screensaver tool that allows you to put photos on the Janome M17 display screen, and they will appear when the machine is in standby mode. So I'm going to talk to you about how you can download that app and how to use it to get your photos to show up on that beautiful big display screen on the Janome M17. Now, before I get into all the details of how to use the Screensaver tool to put photos on your Janome M17, you need to make sure that your machine is connected to your Wi-Fi. So refer to your manual, and there are various ways you can do that, and it'll depend on the specific situation you have at your house. So once you've got that done, though, then we move on to the fun part. Okay, so you are going to go to either the App Store if you're an Apple user, or you're going to go to Google Play if you're an Android user. And this app will work on either your smartphone or your tablet. Because I'm an Apple user, I'm going to the App Store. So I'm just going to go in there. And you'll find it under Screensaver Tool. Okay, don't look for Janome because you probably won't find it there. But Screensaver Tool will get you the app, and this is what it looks like. So it's purple, it says Screensaver on it. I've already got it downloaded, but you'll want to download it, of course. And then when you open it up, it's going to look like this. So not much to it, but I'm going to walk you through some of the options you have when you are using it. So you can upload photos a couple of different ways, or you can get photos, I should say, a couple of different ways. One is by clicking on the camera and actually taking photos of, probably not yourself, but maybe your projects. Okay, in this case, I am not doing this. I'm going to cancel that. But you have to make sure that the app has access to your camera to do that, of course. Or you can actually import photos that you already have on your device. So if I go into the gallery, for example, I have already brought some photos in, but if I want to bring some more in, or in your case, if you haven't brought any in yet, you're going to click on the plus sign at the top and it'll open up your photo gallery, and then you can click certain pictures and it brings them into the gallery on the app. So as I said, I've already done that, so I'm not going to worry about doing that. And you can see them under here. I have them under Recents, and here are the different photos that I've already brought in. So I can choose from these. Now you can put as many in. I'm not sure what the limit is, quite frankly, on this. I know the limit to bring photos onto the M17 is 5 photos. And of course, you can always change these, and I'll show you how you can do that as well. But let's just go through and pick out a few photos. And as I go and pick them out, they're going to move into these spots here. So they'll move in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we'll get some pictures of Salem in here because why not? It's always fun to look at your cats when you're working. And how about one of a project? All right, so you can see they put them all in here. Now, if I don't like one of these and I want to change it, I can do that by just clicking on the X and choose another photo. Once I've got them the way I want them, then I can click Done. And then they will come up in a preview mode so you can see here. Now, there are some options at this point in time as well. So let's click on this photo, for example. I can delete the photo here too if I want to, which means I can put another one in, or I can edit the photo. Now this is very rudimentary editing. It's not like what you usually have on photo editing apps, but you can rotate the picture if you'd like. I think we'll keep her right side up. You can center, so it'll allow you to move the photo around to wherever you want to center it. When you're done with that, you can just click Done. If you decide not to make any changes, you would click Cancel, of course. But the other interesting thing that I really like on this app is the fact that you can change the duration of how long you see each photo. So for example, let's say the first one of Salem here, I want to see for 10 seconds, okay? Let's say the second one, I only want to see for maybe 5 seconds. So you have a choice of how long you can see these. It goes anywhere from 2 seconds up to 30. So maybe you just want to have one picture in. If you want to, you could just do that and have it last for 30 seconds, for example. But I'm just going to put them at 10 seconds. That's what I'm going to leave them all at. And at this point in time, if I'm happy with the photos I've got in here, then I can actually send them to my Janome M17. But there is one final thing I can do before I send it to the machine, and that is to preview these, how they'll actually look on the machine. So there's a little play button, a little triangle at the top, and when you click on that, it will actually come up and show you these photos for the length of time that you had already selected. So for example, the first one's going to stay there for 10 seconds. All mine are 10 seconds. But if you had them different times, I mean, you can just play around with it. It's kind of fun. If you had them for different times, it's actually going to show you how long those will show on your machine. Okay? So if I want to get out of there, I can just click out of there and we're good. So now it's time to send it to the machine. So let me show you how that works. Now, one thing before you send it to your machine, make sure your Janome M17 is turned on. It's not going to go anywhere if the machine isn't turned on. Remember, I told you had to have it connected to the Wi-Fi at your place, so it can do this as well. And you can see at the bottom right-hand side, there's a send, and there's a little sewing machine icon. So you click on send, and it's going to ask you to select the sewing machine. And there are different machines that you can use this app on, but I'm using it for the M17. So it's going to come up and it's going to tell me model M17. And sometimes it takes a little bit to get it to connect. So if you don't see the specific ID of the machine rather than just the model, just click it again, give it a few minutes. So now you can see that it's connected directly to my specific Janome M17. So we're good to go. So we're going to go back here, and now you can see that the send is purple rather than gray. So if we click on send, I don't know if you heard that little whoosh noise. So it sent that off to my machine. Now, just to let you know, if you're having problems and it's not picking up your machine, go to the M17, check under the wireless settings, turn them off, turn them on again. Hopefully that's just a quick connection for you like it is for me. And that may be what it needs to start, because sometimes it doesn't want to connect right away. So just keep at it, you'll get it. All right. So the next thing I want to show you is on the M17 where it's going to show up on that machine, on that big display screen, and how you can change the standby timer so that those photos will show up either quicker than the standard default setting or a little further down the line. And I'll explain that when I show you the machine. So here you can see the pictures I've chosen. They've come up on this big display screen, and I had chosen 10 seconds. So each of these photos is going to show up for 10 seconds, and they look really nice, don't they? It's like having one of those photo frames attached to your machine. Okay, now how do I get this to stop? Well, first off, these are only showing up when the machine is in standby mode, or what I call sleep mode, and that is when you haven't touched the machine at all. So if you haven't touched the machine, I have my standby mode set for 1 minute. So if I haven't touched my Janome for a minute, my photos start coming up on the display screen. As soon as I touch something, as soon as I want to do more work and I touch something on the machine, you can see it stops, it goes into active mode. Now, I mentioned that you can adjust the standby time, so let me show you how to do that. You go into your settings, at the bottom of your screen here, and you're in the sewing settings, and you just go to the second page, and you'll see the standby timer information here, and you can see I've got mine set for a minute, but you can change that up to, here we go. I think the default is 10 minutes, but you can make it as high as being completely off, so it never goes into standby mode, or 30 minutes. So 30 minutes is a long time, I would say. If you want to go back down, you know, I usually have mine set somewhere around probably about 15 minutes. But it's your personal choice, whatever you want. And once you've chosen that, you're going to click OK, and it's going to go and stay in active mode. And then, of course, if I haven't touched it for 15 minutes, then it is now going to bring up my pictures again, and they will just continue going until I touch the machine. So it's kind of fun. You can always change the photos anytime you want. And you would just do that by going into the Screensaver Tool app again and choosing some different photos to send to your machine. In this video, I've shown you how to upload photos to show on the display screen of your Janome M17 when it's in standby mode. But you might want more information on the Janome M17. Don't worry, I've got you covered. Check out this video, which contains all the important information that you need. For more helpful quilting information, be sure to go to my website at www.chatterboxquilts.com.